Meeting to order.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. John.
Here.
Dale.
Here.
Mark is absent. Sean. Troy is here. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
It's been moved by Dale to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Minutes from July 24th.
I move to approve the July 24th minutes and dispense with the reading.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean to approve the meeting minutes from July 24th and dispense with the reading. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Then let's look at the meeting minutes from the 7th of August.
I think, I wasn't here, but there was discussion on the IT budget, motion by Ernest to accept the IT budget. I don't think the as amended part should be in there.
You guys took out a few things.
But that hadn't been approved before.
It hadn't been approved before.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't approve everything that was requested, but
Right.
there was no, we hadn't acted on it yet.
Okay.
And then second by Stefan and called 3 times for discussion with roll call vote, and it fails. A motion by Stefan to approve the IT budget as amended. It shouldn't be as amended, it's as presented. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a whole separate motion that was presented. It wasn't an amended motion. The reason that we got rid of the reason we didn't amend it is because we didn't want to go through the process, and that's why it failed the first time, correct?
Right.
So it should say then budget as presented, or as proposed, as presented.
We didn't
We
approve
changed
this.
how it was presented.
Yeah.
We didn't approve all the proposal.
Right, so then it's budget as presented.
I'd say it's nothing. It's just approved the budget
Okay.
because we didn't approve it as presented. We changed some of that stuff.
The IT budget. We changed it and then we
Yeah, 'cause it
put it
had
up.
all
Then we
the-
put it up for approval.
Had all the road
Yeah.
stuff in there to start with.
Okay.
And then where it says motion by Stefan to increase the reserve by 78,897. It should probably say general fund reserve.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Probably should be a little more something on that 2020 election, general election discussion,
Okay,
like number of polling, or, it's,
Well, what did we discuss?
we talked about how to operate the polling place and maintain distancing and stuff. And I think you were gonna kinda look at doing it out in the entryway
yep,
and have one entrance and one exit.
yep,
That's what I thought.
okay.
And there's some shields or something you were gonna move or get or something for the election workers.
And precautions taken due to the COVID virus.
Okay, so there was discussion on how the county would like to proceed with the polling place due to COVID concerns. Okay. Yep.
Do we need to go back and put tax equalization on the agenda?
Yep, I didn't receive anything from Connie yet, so yep. I can have her get something together for you guys at the next meeting unless you guys are good to close it now. Did
No,
you?
he's talking about this agenda.
I'm seeing it in the minute and wondering if we should have
Yeah,
put it.
yeah, I didn't receive
Oh,
anything
so we
from
don't need
Connie
to- Okay.
unless you guys are good to close it now.
No, but I mean, he's,
Wanting it
I
on.
just-
John's saying it should be on the agenda here, then we should talk about it and agree to
I
move it
just-
to the next meeting.
I saw it in
Yeah.
in the minutes, I was like, oh, we didn't add it to the agenda,
Yeah.
so I'm
So,
interjecting two things there, I guess, so.
so given the meeting minutes, I think we should go back to the agenda and revise the agenda to show discussion on tax equalization. And it doesn't matter where we put that in there. Probably right after we approve the bills.
Move to approve the August 7th minutes with changes, and dispense with the reading.
Been moved by Sean to approve the August 7th meeting minutes as amended and dispense with the reading. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Any questions in the bills? Wasn't very many of them.
No?
Move to approve the bills as presented.
Been moved by Sean to approve the bills as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. We need to open the tax directors, or the tax equalization meeting again?
So we need a motion to recess this one, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll make a motion, recess our regular meeting.
Been moved by Sean to go into recess. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Call this meeting of the Tax Equalization Board to order.
Back to order.
Back to order,
So you guys recessed. In the meantime, Carla has filed the sales ratio study for us. And
That was done before last meeting.
Yep. So, and I don't know what information you guys needed to finish this, but I didn't receive anything from Connie either.
We didn't get a copy of the sales ratio study.
Okay.
We did.
No. Well, we did. Yeah. I filed it. She got it to me and then I filed it with the state. Because they don't have clearance or a login or whatever, so.
Can you send it to us?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What are we waiting for? I can't remember. Thought we were waiting for those 3 townships to get signed off on, but they did get signed off on
We
it.
did get those signed off on, yep. And then I think you guys needed you guys couldn't verify like some value until you had the sales ratio study. I thought some farmland or something.
NDSU determines the farmland.
Yeah, the NDSU something I thought, but
I thought we were very compliant with that. We were at 91
Yep.
point something.
Yep. um,
I imagine all we have left to do really is to approve the 3 townships.
Assessments.
We approved them
And pending.
contingently already, so they're approved now.
mhm.
Okay.
I think we can just accept the,
Sales use report. Ratio study.
I mean, all we need to do is close the equalization meeting, right?
And just an email chain from Linda to Carla, tested on their side, and Griggs is at 100 for commercial and 90.8 on residential. And so that's what I uploaded, but the one that I have is it's like formatted for the states, so it's just a bunch of jumble for me, so I don't really know. I'll get the readable version for you guys, and I'll send that out on Monday.
See, that really shouldn't be turned into the state until that's approved by the county commission. The tax director that isn't even an assigned duty of the tax director, that's assigned duty of the county commission, and the tax director works at the pleasure of the county commission. So that's basically part of the tax equalization process. So if I understand correctly, at 100%, we don't need to be at 100%. It should never been turned in at 100%. We can be at 94% to be within compliance. So any work that the tax director does is at the discretion of the county commission. So there should never be where it goes from the tax director to the state, in my opinion. That the tax director works at the pleasure of the county commission, and that terminology is in there for a reason. It's so that the county commission, as a group, can determine tax policy rather than one person.
What are you doing?
I'm emailing Carla.
Carla who?
Carla Harmel, the lady that did the sales ratio study.
Why?
Because she sent me the formatted version to upload, and I think Connie's got the readable version. But so and Connie's not in right now, so I'll just ask Carla for it.
When is the state tax equalization?
Not sure.
Sometime in September, I think.
September or October, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty late.
But we can't unring this bell, and we can't approve it if we haven't seen it.
I think the state is going to look at it as approved as soon as it hit their office.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I think it's the sales ratio study is just like a tool. It's actually the tax equalization, what you guys did at tax equalization, that they see more, right?
No, they
No.
use the valuations. They use the valuations. It's supposed to be one of 4 items used to determine property valuation, but they use it as the number 1 item. So, like what they did last year with it, and what they're doing with it this year, is it basically overrules the tax equalization, the commissioners in the tax equalization, and then the state says, okay, you guys are out of compliance in our understanding of it by X amount of percent, now we're gonna have to raise you, or in this instance, I don't think they'll lower it. I think they'll say you're over by 6%, but we'll just leave it and let you catch up.
That's what they did with ag land
That's
last
what-
year.
Yes, that's correct.
That's why we didn't do any increase or didn't have to do anything with it this year.
But we don't know what was submitted, John.
Yeah, we do. She read it off. 94% on the residential and 100% on the commercial.
Well, I didn't even hear it.
Correct?
It says that Linda from the state, this is between her and Carla, I've tested in TAP, so it should be formatted correctly. If you would please send the CVS file directly to them without opening, have them submit it. It said tested on my side, and Griggs is at 100.0 commercial and 90.8 on residential. Would you ask them to upload ASAP?
Okay, so they're going to want us to raise the residential by 4%. And at the same time, I think we could lower the commercial by 6%.
We can still get that done, you think?
The tax equalization meeting's still open.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We did request last year while it was open, correct?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, is to determine valuations, and as long as the meeting is still open, we have the ability to do that.
But I think you guys only did it to what it needed to be. Like, we didn't do it anything above at our tax equalization.
No, we didn't.
Right.
And the way that Connie was saying is that the state shouldn't come back and change us at all. Like, we should be fine with our numbers, is what I was told.
No,
Is it
because
94% it's supposed to be at? Is it that high?
The Eggland's only 90.
Yeah, I was saying it's 90.
I thought it was 94% on
On the residential?
Yeah, but I'm
Could
not,
be.
I don't know that for sure.
They're not meeting again until September 23rd.
The state?
They're supposed to meet the 3rd, but they canceled it, moved it to the 23rd.
So maybe we should go back into recess until we can take a look at that sales ratio study and see what what the thresholds are.
Mm-hmm.
We need to find that out.
Mm-hmm. Because at the same time, that at some point they're gonna ask us to raise the cropland also. And that really can't be done that has to be done, it's supposed to be done within the equalization meeting, it's not supposed to be closed, so
Right.
it all takes place.
But we're okay with that this
The
year,
crop plan?
correct? Yeah,
Yeah, we're in compliance.
I think we were in compliance with that.
I think it was like
Because there was-
91.4% or something.
Because they'd raised it above what we had last year, so after the hearing,
Mhm.
they raised it.
Yeah.
I'll move we recess tax equalization meeting pending further info.
Been moved by Sean to go into recess on tax equalization meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed, same sign. Motion open the regular meeting of the county commissioners. Next thing on the agenda is we got an applicant for a tax equalization director. I had asked the state if we can hire the aspects of this job done instead of trying to find somebody all the time to do this, and they have not gotten back to me yet. Before we do anything else, should I try to get hold of them again?
I think so.
I mean, we need to decide if we're gonna interview this person or what we're gonna do at some point in time. But I think I would like somebody to give me some direction as far as an alternative to having an employee.
Well, it's I would say that if they go by the century code, we can. Because it says the Board of County Commissioners of each county shall appoint, doesn't say hire. It says appoint a tax director of a tax equalization who must be experienced, and on and on and on into the assessment. So I don't know why we couldn't appoint somebody that was outside of the.
Whether they're a contractor or not.
Yeah. I would, County Director of Tax Equalization shall serve at pleasure of the Board of County Commissioners and may be employed on a full-time or part-time basis. Vacancies in the office of County Director of Tax Equalization shall be filled in the same manner as the original appointment, so it's kind of contradictory there. Yeah, that'd be a good question to ask them.
Maybe we don't wanna ask the state, maybe we just wanna see what it would cost to have this company that did the sales ratio study just kinda be plugged in all year long. All they need, I mean, even if the tax equalization director is sitting in the building, Kelly's the one that has to provide the sales for the tax director to produce a sales ratio study. So she could provide them to anyone, it doesn't have to be somebody under the same roof, right?
Yeah, so who would, the duties of the contractor we might get into the same position we got into with what was the contractor that we just had for the emergency manager? Where the contractor wants to assume more duties because more duties equals more dollars into their pocket.
Oh, that's true.
And who would be then supervising what the minimum, we couldn't even get the minimum duties out of anybody for what the emergency manager was supposed to be. We can't find any minimum qualifications for the tax director either. But I assume if we leave it up to the state and a contractor, that the minimum qualifications are probably gonna be quite high. Where you have.
The duties of the tax director are in the century code.
But we're having the tax director do the sales ratio study, and it's nowhere in the century code. But that's a duty of the tax director. Tax director is supposed to supervise the assessors. So there's been a lot of add-ons to it.
Then it shouldn't matter who we hire to do it if it's not a duty prescribed by the century code.
No? Oh, sure.
So what other things would we have to hire then? Just the sales use study, or would there be anything else?
Well, basically the equalization. They would have to look
Oversee
over. They would look over the
township's
township's equalization
or
information.
Yeah, they supervise the assessors.
Is that something these companies do too or not?
I don't know, I can find out.
I mean, if that's the two main duties, and we can hire it done cheaper than having a tax director on staff.
Yeah, I mean, the tax director assembles the information provided by the assessors to present to the county commission. They don't make an opinion, although in practice last time we did, but they don't make an opinion one way or the other. It's just to assemble it and present it to us.
That's why I think the director and the assessors can't be the same people.
For sure.
because
Oh, of course.
it's too huge of a conflict.
Couldn't put one hat away and wear the other one, that was the problem.
Didn't seem to go too good. In the real life scenario, but. You know, but that, then again, the century code dictates that if the townships can't find an assessor, that the duties are delegated to the county, and the county uses the tax director. It hasn't been a very well thought out process as far as
There's holes in it.
keeping the process of assessing taxes a group endeavor. It does away with the whole county commission and puts it into one person who unfortunately is licensed and directed by the state.
Right.
Who really shouldn't have their fingers into property taxation anyway. But
Okay.
we've talked about that a million times. So.
Right, so let's just wait and deal with that later.
I agree.
So I have 2 raffle permit applications.
Just one. The same one.
Oh. I must have been sleeping when I read my packet. I thought one of them was elementary and one of them was high school.
It's okay.
I'll move to approve the permit for the Titan Elementary football for a raffle.
Been moved by Sean to approve the raffle application for the Titan Elementary football. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So. This letter from the Department of the Interior seems to me that we would fail to meet the test of having a major metropolitan area. So, I'm not so sure we need to consider that.
Isn't that the eye of the beholder issue?
I could do it at the new Teddy Roosevelt Museum, maybe. Oh, I guess that's not a go yet.
But yeah, it seems like we put a lot of work into that and then not many results. Well, we're supposed to have a statue forest or sanctuary. Is that what you're looking for?
I can't remember. I read it this morning.
We kinda got the site down there, we got Stonehenge, or Concrete Henge, or whatever it is on the way in here, along the highway.
Oh. This letter from NDSU is just information.
That's the contract that I signed and sent back to them.
But we approved it at the last
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Yep, so that's been sent back to her and she hopefully got it into the office in time, so should have a student.
What's the M stand for?
May.
Me?
May.
Old courthouse, new courthouse.
So, when are they gonna do this study?
Before May 21st. Imagine that's when she's gonna graduate.
So is it? Yeah. I guess the speed government moves, we don't have to talk, we don't have it in a budget if we are going to tear it down in 2021. But we couldn't hardly put it in the budget until we had permission to tear it down, which we don't have.
It isn't gonna be coming down in 2021, John.
No. Probably not. Well, and, you know, I mean, yeah, it'll probably still be standing there when this one deteriorates and we just move back in.
I did talk to Brian about the chandelier, and Troy got a little bit more information too. He's got to look at how to get up because there's another ceiling above this, so then he has to go up through the attic and all this stuff. So he's gonna work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Brian and I walked out between the new courthouse and the old courthouse. The air conditioner in the sheriff's office is running.
At the old courthouse, they had a leak or the thing flooded or something like that, so they were airing it out. I don't know.
In the old courthouse?
Yeah. It like flooded and stuff, and so then everything got wet, so they were trying to air it out.
Air conditioners don't exchange air between the inside and the outside.
I don't know.
That is not gonna work. Dehumidifiers,
You know, we just dump them.
well, you can just plumb it into the floor drain.
There was a reason that it was going off. I didn't know what exactly the reason was, but I don't know what that is either.
Wes is rotating tires.
They're not a real quiet machine gun. Well, somebody should probably turn off the air conditioner.
Yep, I'll make a note.
I think Brian's working in that mechanical room.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit of water on the floor when it rains real hard outside. I wonder if he's not gonna put something in there to raise that floor a little bit or something. Future business. Tax equalization.
Hmm?
Tax equalization.
I'll send you guys the sales ratio study.
I don't think we can change the sales ratio study. I think we just comply with the parameters, the state requirements. The sales ratio study is what it is.
Absolutely, but we set the value, I mean, because we do it all the time, we do it in the cropland, we do it on the residential property, we do it on the commercial property,
Right.
if we can go up, we can go down.
Right, but we need to see the sales ratio study to finish the tax equalization meeting. Okay,
We need to know what percentages we need to be at for compliance.
right, I don't know that, to look it up.
Yeah, because the sales ratio study is just one
tool that,
one of four to show what valuation of that property is.
Any other future business? Tax equalization director.
No, got you.
I'm starting your next meeting agenda now, don't forget.
I got it.
is it on the 4th, our next meeting?
Yep.
I might be absent.
Are you? Where are you going?
A long
I got
meeting.
called for jury on the 2nd.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's another thing. If we can, I'll probably we'll just see how it goes.
We'll have to meet someplace else.
Yeah, we might not have this room.
Yeah.
Move we adjourn?
It's been moved by Sean to adjourn. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting, motion carried, meeting adjourned at 3:15 PM. The next regular meeting will be September 4th at 2:30 PM in some room.